Do you know what has changed in Tesla in last 2 months? Do you know how much is the change in their market cap in last 2 months? What is the change in their share price in last 2 months? Well, 2 months ago, they have launched something called as Cybertruck. And that has changed the entire dynamics in the market. So in today's video, we are going to take $100 billion lesson from the Cybertruck launch by Elon Musk. So if you are not aware of it, then let's get started. So in the month of July 2019, shares of Tesla fell by 11% because of the report of the poor quarter. And if you will check the media, what you will recall, Tesla was really going through a very, very tough time. So their share prices were down, and a lot of people were talking about, is Tesla going to go bankrupt? And they asked this question to Elon Musk, and he replied, if Tesla is going to go bankrupt, then I'm also going to go bankrupt. So that open he is. And 50% of his wealth, which is approximately right now, I think valued at, the last valuation was at somewhere close to $32 billion. Half of the wealth is actually nothing but the Tesla shares. So company was not doing well in the month of July. They reported a bad quarter. Share fell by 11%. Then 21st of November, they unveiled something called as a Cybertruck. We'll talk about it in detail. But this is when he unveiled the Cybertruck, next day, the shares of Tesla fell by 6%. And the news in the media was Tesla is tumbling. And the net worth of Elon Musk came down by $770 million. And everybody was talking about that, whether this launch was right or launch was wrong. But what you have to remember always is Elon Musk is visionary. He has gone through tough times. He is somebody who can bear the maximum pain on this planet, and somebody like him who is a visionary. At the same time, no one like him has thought in history what he is thinking of building a colony on Mars. So you have to remember the ability of this person. So there was a lot of negativity in the media, and Tesla is tumbling, Tesla will go bankrupt. But every time Elon Musk has surprised people. So if you have not watched till now the launch of the Cybertruck, what I would recommend after completing this video, go back and watch the launch of the Cybertruck. I am also leaving the link of that particular launch, a short video of that particular launch. There is a lot to learn from that video also. And of course, you are going to learn $100 billion lesson as we progress in this video. So let's take a look at what has happened after the Cybertruck launch. So after the launch, share fell by 6%. I think share was trading somewhere close to $350. From there, it fell to somewhere close to $330, right? And after that, if you see, it is right now trading somewhere close to $567. So almost the share price of Tesla has doubled in just 2 months. After the Cybertruck launch, where people were criticizing about his launch, and we will go in detail and take a look at some of his genius aspect, and we'll see why, if you were investor in Tesla, then your money would have doubled. The people who have invested, of course, their money has doubled. The another remarkable thing which has happened in last 2 months for Tesla is it has become the second automaker company in US after Toyota. Okay, so if you take a look here, the market cap was somewhere close to 50 billion, and from there within 2 months it has jumped to 100 billion. The market cap of Tesla at this point of time is $100 billion. And you should think that, is there some remarkable investment or something has come? What you will realize, it is his genius. With a little money, he has created altogether a new image for the company. So let us go and take a look in his Cybertruck launch. Now, before we go into it, the first lesson what we learn is don't sell product, sell identity. Now, can you tell me who is the CEO of Ford? Who is the CEO of Toyota? Who is the CEO of Mercedes-Benz? Or who is the CEO of BMW? Probably you will not be able to recall. I mean, if you're not that savvy in terms of general knowledge, then you will not recall. But if you look at these people, the moment we tell the name of the brand, you recall these people. And these people were geniuses because they knew that for every company, there has to be an identity. Right? After Steve Jobs is gone from the Apple, there is no face attached to it. Of course, he put that company in a position where they are very well placed, but there is still his face only which is attached to Apple. If you think of Berkshire Hathaway, similarly, you can only think of Warren Buffett. You think of Microsoft, Bill Gates will come to your mind. So when I ask you who is the CEO of Tesla, I mean, only person who is going to come to you is Elon Musk. And the reason people buy is not only the product, it is the value which they bring, it is the trust which they have built over the period of time with the customer, because of which it sells. And people are able to find the purpose attached to the product, right? Because every time when you think of Elon Musk, he's not selling something. When you think of a SpaceX, when you think of a Tesla, he is always going to mesmerize you with his creations. I mean, he is one of the greatest inventor of all time. And think about his genius, what he named his company. There could be many names, but it is Tesla. Right? So he is simply genius because he knows that he doesn't sell a product. He sells dream. He sells purpose. He sells identity. And that's why even when there is a tough time, you have to remember it is Elon Musk. And he is going to come out. I mean, he is somebody who didn't have the money to pay the rent after he sold his paper. I mean, he is just finding a new and a higher purpose. Look at him. He says, I don't want to die on Earth. I want to die on Mars. And I don't want to be one person who will die on Mars. Right? That is what is making him big. The second thing about him, and probably he has picked up that from none other than Steve Jobs, which is hosting a global mega event. If you see a lot of these companies, probably they will do a launch which is not even visible to people, right? I mean, it's just a kind of a local kind of a launch where they're calling some people and unveiling the car. But this is an art, I believe, he picked up from Steve Jobs, where he was always hosting a mega event to launch his product. Because people are looking for a demonstration. People want to see what is that which you are launching. And most of the time, the people who are big in the company, they just come on stage for some time, but it is most likely the host who is there and talking about most of the things. But in case of Elon Musk, in case of a Steve Jobs, you will see that they host a mega event to launch their product, and people will get to know about them. I mean, the thing about them is good or bad, but you cannot ignore me, right? So you should go and watch the video, as I told you, of launch of this Cybertruck, right? When he unveiled the Cybertruck in that global mega event, when you take a look at this particular Cybertruck, there is no color. So there was positive and negative, both kind of responses. And what he says is, it really doesn't matter to him, right? It doesn't matter to him because people started talking about it, good or bad, but people should talk about it. You should be visible. If people are not talking about you, that means you are not visible in the marketplace. And that's why you don't exist in the marketplace. The other thing is, after the launch of the Cybertruck, he tweeted that he has received around 250,000 orders already, which has generated a $5 billion of revenue for him as a pre-booking amount, right? And he launched with a 3 variation. I think one is $39,000, one is $49,000, and one is $69,000. So that is also a pricing strategy, right? Because you will have people who would want to buy your higher variant. So in the launch, he did a lot of things. One was tug of war between Ford F-150 and the Cybertruck. And of course, there was no comparison. Cybertruck was able to just pull it. And on a funny part, he just tilted the screen and he said this was on an inclined plane. When you watch the video, you will like that funny part. Then he also smashed another car's body with a hammer. He got somebody who was hitting with the hammer on the other car's door, and then he also smashed the same hammer on the Cybertruck, and there was like no sign of dent because they are using a very, very high quality material, and he talks about that material in his launch. So other thing was, how are you going to park your additional vehicle at the back of the truck and things like that. But where I would want you to focus is, what do you think is the cost of doing all this, right? Just an event, a prototype, a demo, mesmerize people, and you get an order of 250,000 pieces with a revenue of 5 billion. Wow. And they're not going to produce it, I believe, until end of 2021. So he has got time in his hand to improve it, right? There is no color which is given to Cybertruck yet, so people can customize it. People can add their own color to this and place the order, right? So ask yourself, can you pre-sell something? I have talked about this particular thing in my previous video on book writing, right? Where I have talked about 5 tools on book writing. That can you pre-sell something without even creating the product? That's an art. Now, other thing is, always remember, controversy sells. And if you take a look at his launch event, there was one demonstration he was doing where he was talking about how strong his Windows windshield is. And the glass broke. Now people started talking about it, whether it was a planted thing or whether it happened. I mean, people were asking, how did he allow his engineer do this? But then things like this makes this event popular. People started tweeting about it. People started talking about it, that, you know, what kind of a bad product he has built, you know, which got failed in the launch. But this is a masterstroke. This person is a genius. You are going to remember this event and you are going to kind of talk about it. You know, this is something which you would have seen in some of the movies. They make those mistakes, right? Where if it's an ancient movie, they will click a picture and there will be a plane in that movie. So those kind of mistakes, but those are, again, I believe, the planted things which force people to go and check those things. So whether good or whether bad, you have to be in the list of people's mind. Otherwise, you don't exist as a business in these days, right? So within 2 months, market cap of Tesla from $50 billion rose to $100 billion. Share price, 100% return in Tesla shares, right? So controversy sells for sure. With Steve Jobs gone, now he's the one who is considered as one of the greatest futurists of all time at this point of time. And I think one commonality which is there between these two people is both of them work on the reality distortion. What is the meaning of a reality distortion? I have told in my previous video also, all the human progress is a result of somebody believing that what is reality, we can go beyond it. Steve Jobs said, we all are here to create a dent on the universe so that when we are gone, there is a mark which is left. So unrealistic people are called reality destroyers. So these are the people who are big dreamers and they just destroy the reality, and being unrealistic, they go and create something which has never existed. And definitely Elon Musk is one of that person for sure. So lot of things you are going to learn when you are going to watch this launch event. But $100 billion lessons is you have to ask whether you can pre-sell your product before you have created it, whether people are talking about you or not, right? One of such event which I can call that he went on a radio show and where he was smoking weeds. And due to that, again, the share price of Tesla fell. But what you have to remember, whether it is about Bill Gates, whether it is about Steve Jobs, whether it's about Elon Musk, whether it is about Richard Branson, whether it is about Warren Buffett, all the people who are there in your head is because they understand that they have to create their identity in your brain. You know, it is not a kind of a really, I would say, planned thing, but it is something which is natural in them, right? So if you have a brand, ask yourself, am I face of my brand, right? Because tomorrow if you are identified with your company name and God forbid if that company closes down, nobody is going to remember you. But if you build your brand with your name, then you can do SpaceX, you can do Tesla, you can do Cybertruck, you can do multiple things. So the key learning from all these people, after Steve Jobs was thrown out of his own company, he started Pixar, right? He started Next. But all these brands come under one name, which is Steve Jobs, right? So work on your brand in such a way that your face is attached to it. People will get to know about your brand with your name by attaching your face. So this is all I wanted to talk to you in this $100 billion lesson from the Cybertruck launch. And this is a fairly new channel. So thank you so much for your support. But I'm declaring today, looking at our growth, that we are going to have 1 million subscribers very soon. 1 million subscribers very soon. Because the massive value which I am adding through this channel, it is reaching out to a lot of people. So be the early subscriber on this channel, press on the bell icon and subscribe to this channel, because there is a lot of value which is going to come in here. Stock market, we are already doing. Entrepreneurship is something where a lot of lessons are going to come. And it is always good to be the early adopter of the channel. So every single day we have a diverse topic on which we are working on, and we are bringing newer and newer content and making a video which can add value to your life, change your belief system and change your mindset, and give you tools which can equip you with doing a business in 21st century. So this is all I wanted to talk to you today, and I will again come back to you with another video. Meanwhile, if you think that this video is adding value to your life, share with other people in whose life you want to add value. Comment how did you feel about this video. If there is any specific topic you want me to talk about it, please comment, and your support is appreciated. So this is Vijay Prakash signing off for the day, and I'll come back again with a new video tomorrow. Bye-bye.